On August 30th of this week, Bank of America introduced a new first-time homebuyer mortgage program. And there's a lot of information about it. I wanted to make sure you get the most accurate information about the program. So number one is called the Community Affordable Loan Solution. And this is directly from Bank of America's press release about the program. It aims to help individuals and families obtain an affordable loan to purchase a home. So it's for first-time home buyers. They haven't said exactly how they define a first-time home buyer, at least in their press release. So sometimes in some of these programs, you can't have ever owned a home. Sometimes you can't have owned a home in the last 3 years. So just be mindful about that as you think about, are you a first-time home buyer or not? Some of you, it's obvious. Some of you, if you haven't owned a home, usually in the last 3 years, they may still consider you a first-time home buyer. Now, here's where a lot of the controversy and I think the confusion is coming in. So it says available in designated markets, including certain Black, African American, and or Hispanic Latino neighborhoods. Okay. So it's not for, because everybody's saying it's a loan for Black people, it's a loan for Hispanic people. It's not that. It's in those neighborhoods. And they were very specific about that. Now, I believe they are targeting Black and brown first-time home buyers. However, they did not say this is only for Black or brown first-time home buyers. And because banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, a lot of the large banks have a history of discriminatory processes in mortgage lending, in lending in general, they have a lot of these programs set up for Black and brown communities or Black and brown people. But this specifically, it says the community, not the individual. So that make that very, very clear. It didn't say, well, this program is for Black people, this program is for Hispanic people, it's for anybody in these neighborhoods. Now, how are they going to define a Black or Hispanic neighborhood? They're going to use the census. They're going to use a census to determine these neighborhoods. Now, in a lot of news outlets have said that these programs are either pilot programs or test programs. Right now, they're only doing them in these 5 markets: Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Texas, Detroit, Michigan, Los Angeles, California, and Miami, Florida. So if you are either in these markets, you're planning to move to these markets, you may be eligible for this loan program. However, you want to be knowledgeable about it if you don't live in these areas, because it may be coming to a neighborhood near you. So just be mindful of that. So don't stop this video. I want you to listen because they're testing it out in these markets. Now, a little bit more detail about the program. It's 0 down payment. So no down payment, no closing costs, okay, and no mortgage insurance. In their press release, they did not say a specific dollar amount. Bank of America has multiple programs. And I think some, either YouTubers, some people are getting this confused with their other programs. But as far as their press release says, they didn't put a dollar amount. They just said 0 closing costs. They said 0 down payment, 0 closing costs, and no mortgage insurance. So I've done this video before, the $17,500 home buyer program that Bank of America still has. And this is available in multiple states. So if you're looking for a down payment assistance program and you're not in one of these states, you should be watching this video next. NACA is still available, and NACA is very similar to this. And I'm going to give you some recommendations if you're in one of these cities and you're doing NACA. So NACA is also no down payment, no closing costs, no mortgage insurance, and they're through Bank of America. When you finish with NACA, you're getting a Bank of America mortgage. But I want to say that these programs that have something to do with Bank of America, either directly or indirectly, they are still in effect. So this didn't replace the programs that Bank of America is already affiliated with. This is an additional program that they have. So just be very, very mindful of that. when you're thinking about like, did this replace a program that they already have? So let me get rid of these things. All right, we're back. So let's go back to the program. 0 down payment, 0 closing costs, and no mortgage insurance. Because a lot of times in the 100% financing programs, they will still have that you have to pay your closing costs. So this is an opportunity for you, even in, again, I did a video about the shifting market and that sellers may be more willing to give you closing costs and that sort of thing. Or if you're thinking about doing new construction possibly, and they're affiliated with these programs, you can use some of that closing cost money perhaps to buy down the interest rate, similar to what you do with the NACA program. You use the money that the buyer may give you. You may use some of your funds to buy down the interest rate. Now, so far, it's probably going to be a market rate. But as usual, I always say get 3 quotes. If you're considering this program and you qualify, go ahead and do this one and a couple of others, just so you make sure that they're not just giving you a higher interest rate to give you these other things. There's no down payment, no closing costs, no PMI. But so far, it's supposed to be a market rate. Okay. Now, there's another thing that I did not say, which is very important, that you do not have to have a minimum credit score. This is huge, okay? There's no minimum credit score. So no mortgage insurance, no minimum credit score. Now, how are they going to be able to tell that you're a low risk borrower? You're not a major risk. They're going to use things like your, and I have this next. I did not, let me see if I included it, but they're going to include utilities. They're going to look at utilities, your prior payments, your rent payments. There's no minimum credit score for this program. And that, again, is huge for first-time home buyers that may have been stopped from buying a home because of credit. So this program specifically does not have a minimum credit score. So, and I thought I had this in my list of things to include, but I guess I do not. No, I do have it. Okay. I have it up here. Okay. There's no mortgage insurance, no minimum credit score based on your income and home location. So that's what they're basing it on, your income. You still have to qualify. You still have to be able to pay the mortgage. So more than likely, they're still going to assess your debt to income ratio to see if you can afford the mortgage payment. And they haven't said in the press release what that percentage needs to be. But I would, usually it's around 43% or so. And they may, make, depending on your credit score, even though there's no minimum credit score, they may make the credit score dependent on that debt to income ratio. So in a lot of down payment assistance programs, they'll allow you to have a higher debt to income ratio if your credit score is higher. And then if your credit score is lower, they will only allow you to have a lower debt to income ratio. So don't think that even though they have no minimum, they may still put that in, that may impact how much they're willing to lend you based on your income. So just be mindful of that. Prospective home buyers, you do have to complete a home buyer certification course. And it said prior to application. So the course you have to complete prior to application. All right, so those individuals that are considering NACA or in the NACA program and are in these 5 sites, I would go ahead and go to your local Bank of America branch and apply for this program. Don't get out of NACA, because NACA usually takes a longer time because you have to go through counseling, you have to go through the budget. With this program, you just have to take a class. So this should have the same benefits of the NACA program without you having to jump through all of those NACA hoops. The only difference is if, right now, this Bank of America program is only open to 5 cities, only 5 cities, where NACA is throughout the United States. So, if you're in one of these 5 cities and you're doing the NACA program, I would go ahead and apply for this program, because this, on its surface, remember, it just came out on the 30th, looks like it's going to be much better and much faster than going through NACA. All right, it's a conventional loan. It's supposed to be a market rate, but I'm still recommending that you get 3 quotes just in case. Okay, we don't know. Again, it's very new, so we don't know the rates that they are quoting for this program. Is probably going to be that you have to live in the house for at least 1 year. There's nothing to pay back because there's no down payment, no closing costs, but usually they want to make sure, just like a regular owner occupied conventional or owner occupied FHA, they want to exclude investors from taking advantage of this program. So they're going to make sure that they're only for owner occupants, that you are going to live in this home. That's probably going to be part of the program. It's part of regular conventional, it's part of regular FHA, that you're going to live in the house. And they usually want you to live in that house for at least a year. Now, in the press release, they didn't say any specifics about how long you had to live in the house. However, just in general, think that you're going to have to live in the house at least 1 year, as just in any owner occupant, conventional owner occupant FHA. All right, so I would ask, when you're getting pre-approved for this program, I would ask, is the information, like does the seller on your pre-approval know that you're using this program? Because sometimes, depending on your market, sellers are a little bit less friendly to what kind of down payment assistance. I would rather the pre-approval just say Bank of America conventional mortgage, like approved for a Bank of America conventional mortgage, without putting like the program and the name of it and all of that. So I just ask if it's going to be on your pre-approval, and then just see if you can close in the normal time, like a regular loan, 30 days, takes to close typically. Okay. And again, just want to remind you, Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami. So Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami, and specific areas in those cities that are primarily Black and Hispanic communities. I would go to the Bank of America branch in that community. I would go there. I called today trying to do my research on the program because it said call the 1-800 number for Bank of America to apply. I was on the phone for over 45 minutes, and finally the call just fell. So they have a lot of people probably calling right now. I would go ahead, either set an appointment at the branch or walk into the branch that has a mortgage loan officer at that branch, and go and sit with somebody or make an appointment to meet with somebody about this program. Because once programs like this come out, there's a lot of interest in it. People are really busy, and it may be more difficult for you to do it online and more difficult for you to do it over the phone. So I would definitely go in and look at that. The videos that I definitely recommend that you watch next, if you're interested in it, if you're wondering why they are focusing on Black and brown communities, then there's a history of Black home ownership, definitely, and the home ownership gap. And I explained this in this live stream. I'll have that video in the description. If you're just wondering about the regular Bank of America program, I'll put that in the description as well. And if you're wondering about NACA, then I'll have that video in the description as well. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to put the full press release on the bottom or in the description. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer any questions that I can. But again, this program is very new. Bank of America just issued this press release on August 30th, which was Tuesday. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. I have that right here too. Please like and subscribe to my channel for new videos every week.